What's up, you guys? Happy Monday. Don't forget tonight, the Whether You Like It or Not panel will be right here on my Really Be TV Reviews channel. If you are not subscribed to the Really Be TV Reviews channel, you need to get subscribed. We are going to be here around, 8:30-ish, okay? Don't be coming in the chat at 8:33 talking about where they at, okay? Sometimes things be going on in the background. But we will be there, and y'all know we have a lot to talk about. So let's get into the things, you guys. I am streaming on both channels. So if you are, whichever channel you are on, welcome. If you are not subscribed to my main channel, Really Be TV, get subscribed. If you're not subscribed to my review channel, Really Be TV Reviews, get subscribed, okay? So look. This is the moment that us as Real Housewives of Atlanta fans have been waiting for. Ever since we found out about this situation, and there was so many conflicting reports of what happened, what didn't happen, who was there, who wasn't there, who saw what, who didn't see what. Now we're kind of there. Next week is the episode we're waiting for. But based on last night, the question is, yeah, Kenya, I should be streaming from both. You don't see it on both, boo? The question I'm asking you guys is now, based on, we don't even have everything yet, but based on what we saw last night, I've seen a lot of people in my comments, a lot of people last night were like, well, Kenya has been vindicated. So let's start from the beginning and let's work our way to where we are now. And then I will drop the link for a few minutes. And if anybody wants to come up, they can definitely come up and share their opinions. So this started in late May, early June, I believe, because I remember I was in Atlanta and I bought you guys some tea, and I was in Atlanta last June. So I know around May, June, we got reports that at Kenya's grand opening of her spa, I don't know if it was a soft opening or a grand opening, whatever, but it was at the spa. There were, and I'm going to say allegedly, because until we see the episode next week, child, we don't know. Okay, allegedly there was some inappropriate pictures, very graphic inappropriate pictures that Kenya allegedly shared with the group at this grand opening. Now, I think we can surmise from what the reaction was of the people who were there that those pictures were very, very shocking. We don't know what the pictures were of, but the pictures were very, very shocking. Now, I'm going to mix in some tea that I got. If you are on my channel and you were on my channel back then, y'all, this tea is old for y'all. But let me share with y'all what I was told. And this is all alleged. This is, maybe I should put my alleged banner up. This is all allegedly. Let me put it up here, okay? Let me put it up here. This is all alleged, trigger warning. I guess I can keep the trigger warning part up there because we are going to be talking about, sexually inappropriate conversations. So I guess I'll keep the trigger warning on there. Okay. So let me tell y'all allegedly what I was told. Well, it's what I was told. It's alleged of what happened. The pictures were inappropriate. There were very graphic pictures of Britt Edie allegedly in some sexually compromising positions, including, I was told, fellatio, things of that nature. Now, what Kenya said was that those pictures were on a public website and that she got them somewhere where they were published, because people were trying to say, well, it's revenge porn, is this, is that. Kenya said, listen, these pictures came from a public website. I did not dig in her phone to get them. I did not get them from whatever. She said this was not revenge porn because of that. Now, this is what I was told. And this is the reason why, allegedly, this is the reason why we're seeing the extreme response by Bravo as far as cutting her out of the intro, limiting her time on camera, her not having any confessionals. This is what I was told. Y'all ready to hear it? Allegedly, Kenya said that those pictures came from like a public place, like somewhere, like if you Google it, you can find those pictures. They were already published. That is what she originally said. There was an investigation that was done by remember, these shows are produced by separate production teams. So there was an investigation that was done by the production team that produces Real Housewives of Atlanta. But Britt Eady, this is all what I was told, Britt Eady threatened to sue. She got an attorney. They sent a letter. They always have to send those intent to sue letters. She sent a letter saying that she was going to sue production, sue Bravo, yada, yada, yada. Once that letter went out that Britt Eady was going to sue, then Bravo got involved. And once Bravo got involved and they did their own investigation, once they interviewed Kenya, now this is all allegedly, I got to keep saying that because I don't want nobody coming back at me, but allegedly, once Kenya did her interview with Bravo, with the big boys, she did admit that those pictures were sent to her. They were not from a public place. They were not from a public forum, that those pictures were sent to her. That makes a difference, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why I keep telling y'all whenever Kenya name come up and I be like, no. Because once Kenya allegedly admitted that she got those pictures because somebody sent her those pictures, that does change. Because if they were published on a public forum, it was still in bad taste. It was still inappropriate. It was still, rude as fuck. But it probably would not have cost her her job. She might have got a little pop on her hand. Maybe they would have took her out of a couple of episodes. But allegedly, somebody sent her those pictures. And I'm here to tell you guys, as somebody that does this, I'm not even a big time, my numbers ain't even 100, 200,000 and people send me shit. Okay. So it's believable that somebody sent her those pictures, or Kenya maybe even reached out to people like, look, this girl is on my neck. I don't know what her issue is, but I know you knew her. I know you used to do the vixen videos with her. I know you used to date her. Girl, can you tell me something about her? Can you tell me? And somebody may have said, oh, I know her. Let me get this to you. Boom, boom, boom. So allegedly, Britt has settled. Her lawyers and Bravo's lawyers have come up with an agreement so that the lawsuit would not move forward. I do not know the terms of that agreement, but that is my understanding. So let me just say that one more time. My understanding is that there was an investigation by Bravo. Kenya admitted to the Bravo people that those pictures did not come from a public site. Those pictures came from somebody sent them to her, and they could not authenticate anything about those pictures from that point of view, right? We're gonna listen to it in a minute, powerful. And that is why you've seen Bravo moving the way they're moving. And that is why I kept telling y'all Kenya is fired. Now, people kept arguing with me. They kept arguing with me. They kept arguing with me. But now that the season is here and Kenya doesn't even have a confessional. Kenya hasn't been doing press. Actually, last night, Kenya has been sending out little tweets here and there. But notice Kenya has stopped saying, I didn't do it. Notice Kenya stopped publicly trying to defend herself. She's been very quiet, right? She's been very quiet, and we have not seen her. She did the Tamron Hall show to promote her children's book with her daughter. She has not done any press for this show. Okay, and I know for the people who love Kenya, y'all feel how y'all feel, and I respect that. That's y'all girl. Support your people, but understand what I'm telling y'all. Again, y'all don't have to like the things I say. You don't have to agree, but I need you to hear me. Team Twirl, I need y'all to hear what I'm saying. Okay, now, one of the things that Kenya said, and I'm going to read y'all what Kenya said. This was back when all this stuff first happened. I'm going to read y'all what Kenya said. Kenya said, being the longest standing Real Housewives of Atlanta member, threatened with whips and pistols by a newcomer 3 weeks into filming. Seeing this obsession play out is scary. I wanted protection and assurances that the threats will be taken seriously. I may be strong, but I'm not bulletproof, right? So I'm sorry, that was last night. I'm so sorry. That's what she posted. That's what she tweeted out last night. What Britt Edie, I'm sorry. That's what she tweeted out last night. Ooh. What Britt Edie tweeted out when this happened. When this situation first happened, and Kenya was saying that she was threatened, that the woman threatened her with a pow pow. This is what Britt Edie responded. Britt Edie said, "It's never a good feeling being targeted or hazed by someone I thought would embrace me into a new circle that I never met. For the record, I've never once had possession of any weapons or threatened anyone ever. I've never been to jail, in a fight, or even had as much as a speeding ticket. That's not my character. I'm hurt by the narrative that's being displayed. Wrong is wrong." Now, based on what we've seen, and it could be editing, but based on what we've seen, Kenya was not hazing you. Kenya was not coming for you. You decided you were going to have an issue with Kenya, and it didn't matter what Kenya did. Now, I'm going to let y'all hear what was said last night, and we can decide together whether we think whether we think it was appropriate or not. We're going to listen to it together, and we're going to decide whether this was a threat. So hold on. Lord have mercy, y'all. I'll be bookmarking this stuff. All right. All right, let's listen to what was said. As soon as I find it again. Okay, here. Is this it right here? All right, let's listen to what was said.
For a second. All right. No, we're not done. We're not done. We're still catching this moment. Okay. It's a vibe. Hold on. Let me find my husband first.
I have so many things though.
I still got my pistol, so I'm good.
Girl, Kenny's here.
Okay, can I put this in the car?
I don't know.
I was almost on. I knew I shouldn't have sworn.
Okay,
thank you.
You ready? Yeah.
I just want to put this down.
Security. Somebody found my husband. Where you at, baby?
Can I put mine here? I don't think my car is here.
You know? Okay, well, you want to get in?
Yeah.
Okay, baby, I'm ready. I had to let that bitch know. Don't play with me, bitch. Everything's fine. Everything's cool. Everything's good. Kenya, hello, ditzy ass. Like, bitch, play that shit in front of the cameras. Don't play that with me. I don't play them games.
Black girl magic.
I don't play them games. I got whip, pistols, everything. Play that shit in front of them cameras. Don't play that with me. They need to take this shit off. With her.
Do y'all need me to play it again? Because I heard 2 different times she mentioned a weapon. First time she said, "I still got my pow pow." And the second time she said, "Whips, pistols, everything." Do y'all need me to play it again? Okay, y'all saying no. Okay, Kim, what do you mean there were no threats? That was a threat. Listen, if me and you are in an altercation, we're arguing, and you say, "I still got my pistol," oh, I'm taking that as a threat. Now, I don't know why you don't hear that as a threat. And again, y'all can hate Kenya all y'all want, but you say you don't take it as a threat. I don't know why you wouldn't take it as a threat. I would. Now, listen, just because I'm agreeing that the woman said it doesn't mean I agree with what Kenya did. So it's 2 different things. But for you to say you didn't feel like that was a threat, Powerful, you said, now Powerful, I done met you in person. You know, hell no. Powerful, you could tell that to them, but you can't tell that to me. If you was in a situation and somebody you were arguing with said, "I got my pow pow, whips and pow pows, whatever," that's a threat. Y'all see, Y'all are letting y'all personal feelings get involved. Take Kenya out of it and put yourself in it. You would take it as a threat. Come on now. We two different people. We can have two different opinions. I understand that, Kim, but I don't know how you don't feel like that's a threat. I would take it as a threat. Now, again, just because I would take it as a threat doesn't mean that I agree with how Kenya handled it. But okay, you feel the way you feel. That's fine. Fine, Kim. That's fine, baby. That's fine. You feel how you feel. Me personally, I don't know how you don't feel like that's a threat. But again, you're right. We two different people. Moving right along. Powerful, you said you've been in that situation before. If I wasn't around, it was a threat. She was right there. Kenya was standing right there. Kenya was literally standing right there when the second time she said it, she was walking past Kenya. The second time she said it. Kenya was literally right there when she said it. Okay, moving right along. Now, if it's not a threat, why mention having a weapon in relation to... Right, why would you even bring up a weapon if you don't feel like it's a threat? That's crazy as hell to me. Ooh. Oh, you getting your spring stuff? I ain't even gonna ask Pat because I already know, but I already know what Pat would say. So I know Pat for 20 years. I already know what she would say, so I ain't even gonna ask her. Did you watch the Real Housewives of Atlanta last night? No. Oh. If you in an argument with somebody and they say they about to go get they pistol, would you take that as a threat?
I ain't letting that bitch get away.
If you in an argument with somebody and they say, let me be fair, she didn't say I'm about to go get my weapon. She said I have a weapon. Would you take that as a threat?
Yes.
Okay. See, I already knew what Pat was gonna say. I already knew because I know Pat. I done been with Pat when altercations have gone down, and Pat has fought for less. So but again, you're right. I can't tell nobody else how to feel. If y'all didn't take it as a threat, cool. But I'm telling you, and where I grew up, that's definitely a threat. You in an altercation with somebody, you better not give them a chance. First of all, you're not gonna let them go. That's where moving right along. I ain't telling her business. She would have told y'all herself. Child, I wish somebody would. I'm in an altercation with talking about some. I got a pistol. I absolutely will feel threat. Now, again, how I would have handled it as a 50-year-old woman versus how I would have handled it as a 20-year-old woman is two different things. How I would handle it today is, yes, I would call the police. I would get a restraining order, especially if I'm at work. I would tell my boss. I would tell production, yada, 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 yada. I would do all of those things. How I would handle it, at 20 years old, I'd have punched in her throat. Because I'm not going to give you the opportunity to prove to me that you have a pistol. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, at 20, I'd have punched in her throat. She wouldn't have had a chance to go get it. That would have just been the end of that conversation. I'm arguing with somebody and they like, I got a pistol. Okay. You ain't going to have a chance to go get it. So you can't, now just like I can't tell you how to feel, Kim, you can't tell her she wasn't threatened. You can't tell her she didn't feel threatened. Just because she didn't respond the way you think she should have responded, you can't say Kenya didn't feel threatened because she didn't handle it the way you would have handled it. You see, just like I can't tell you how to feel, you can't tell me how Kenya felt. So just because you're not responding to that statement the way I responded and you just told me, you can't tell me how to feel, I respect that. But now you can't do the same thing to Kenya. You can't say Kenya didn't feel threatened just because she didn't handle it the way you think she should have handled it. See what I'm saying? So it goes both ways. I respect what you're telling me, Kim. I really do. But it goes both ways. With that being said, though, exactly. So stop saying this because people don't like Kenya. I'm just saying don't let your personal feelings get involved. If your personal feelings aren't involved, then fine. But a lot of people are. A lot of people choose sides and then they let their personal feelings dictate what they say. If that's not you, then fine. I said that. I already said that, boo. I already said that. this is what I'm going to drop. So with that being said, I do not agree that Kenya handled it. I do not agree with the way Kenya handled it, even though I now understand, because it does seem like, hey, boo, hey, busy. It does seem like Kenya, that Britt was targeting Kenya from the beginning. Now, it could have been editing, but I mean, that girl went to dinner with her sister, and they were supposed to be talking about their personal issues, and she's still bringing Kenya up. You know what I'm saying? They still bringing Kenya up. So she absolutely was coming for Kenya from the word go. But I do not think that the way Kenya decided to get that woman off her neck was the appropriate response. If, because we still ain't seen it, if what's being reported is what happened. It's called a contextual thread. What do you think of when she mentioned the weapon? Ooh, y'all going off in the chat. Listen, it's 200 people over both platforms. There's 200 people in here. If y'all could hit that like button, please, and thank you. And if y'all could subscribe to the channel. And listen, for the people who are new here, me and Kim disagree a lot. I still love my Kimmy though. That's my boo thing. But we don't always agree, and that's okay. It's okay. Powerful. I done met Powerful in real life, and we cool. But we ain't always gotta agree. Okay. And I am gonna drop the link in a minute and give y'all time to come up. If y'all want to come up and, share how y'all are feeling. All I ask is that you do not have to show your face on camera, but I do need to verify backstage that you're a real person and not a troll or not somebody that's trying to mess up my platform. Okay. Y'all know donations are not required, but they are appreciated and accepted. Listen, close them doors, Don. Close them doors. We're going to sow some seeds in here. Close them doors. Close them doors. We're about to sow some seeds. Don has been saying this from the beginning. He has been consistent in saying that he knows somebody who was in the room, and they told him in real time exactly what happened. And he has been consistent. He has been telling that story for 6 months. Okay, 6 months. Don, I hope you're feeling better, boo. Don, see, close them doors. I said close them doors. We about to start sowing some seeds in here. What? Oh, look who done dropped down. What up, ODS? Hey, boo. How you doing? ODS be doing his mukbangs and things over yonder. He dropping a whole lot of I've heard you talking about that app yesterday where you put that app and it automatically takes your TikTok content and it automatically posts it to your YouTube. I gotta get that app from you. Said it in your live, but I was laying down like half sleep when I heard it. I need to get that app. I need to get the name of that app from you again. But shout out to ODS, y'all. Maz, if y'all don't mind dropping his channel, he does mukbangs and things. He be talking a little B sector too, but he does a lot of mukbangs and things. So if y'all can do me a favor, y'all can drop. It's official D Spot. Y'all might have to look under official D Spot. Y'all can drop his link for me, please. Also, I do have the link. I see y'all backstage. Give me a second. I also have the link pinned for Catherine. She's a frequent flyer over here. She's in a contest to be your favorite chef. The link, it's a voting thing. The link will be live in about another 30 minutes. If you guys could grab that link and vote, please and thank you. And as the mob said in the 1960 election, vote early and often. Okay, vote early and often. All right. Oh, that she just dropped down in the chat. Catherine just dropped down in the chat right there. Okay, you guys, I'm bringing y'all up now. Hey, Taya. What's up, Bat? Hey, boo. Eartha Holmes. You don't need to come on. I don't need to see your face on camera, but I just need to verify you backstage before I bring you up, baby. Hey, Powerful. You want your face? Okay, I got you. Come on up, baby. Hold on. Eartha. I'm gonna give Eartha a chance to tell me, Eartha, again, you don't have to show me your face. I just need to verify you backstage. So come on up. Bat, what happened to Bat? Hold on. Okay. Where are these people going? All right, I'm gonna get y'all up here. We're gonna get it together. Powerful, go ahead, boo, and then Bap, you can speak, and I'm about to bring Taya back up. Okay,
Oh,
Queen Catherine, I see you was
okay.
ready.
If y'all
Okay, go
hear
ahead,
noise
Powerful.
in the background, I'm getting my feet done, but I needed to get on air. No,
Okay, pedicure.
what I was saying to you was that she did not threaten her. Not that Kenya was not threatened.
I see you, Eartha.
I said she didn't say she was going to do anything. She said she had those things. Now, as far as Kenya feeling threatened, that's 100 because you can't tell a person how to feel, and that should have been taken serious. But I still say, and someone asked Kenya, was it something else that happened that we're not seeing? And she says no, it was just that. So if it was just that, what Kenya did was completely out of line. So no, I can't vindicate her. I can only vindicate her at a point of saying, yes, the girl did say she had those things, but not
Hold on.
to
I'm
say,
here, y'all. Hold on.
but not to justify why she did what she did with those pictures. Now I was on live with someone at the event and seeing the girls coming out and their reactions and everything. So it's a mess. I'm not a Kenya fan. I'm not a Brit fan. I'm saying Brit need to get off the TV. But that's not here nor there. I don't I still say she didn't threaten her. She said that she had those things. So yeah, Kenya could have said she felt threatened, but then she should have took proper precautions of doing it the right way. Going to Bravo, going to the police, but she didn't do that. I don't, from what they were doing, I still cannot justify what Kenya did.
It's
That's
not
just
a
me.
matter. Oh, in my opinion, it's not a matter of justification. I just want to make that very clear. It's not a matter of justification because yes, Kenya was wrong, and but like really B said in her live last night, I understand why she did it. At the end of the day, whether you believe Kenya was threatened or not, the fact that that woman said, "I got pistolas, whips, and all of that," she gonna learn today. That is a bona fide threat regardless of whether you say she was threatened, the fact that she says you gonna learn today because I got this, and this, that's a threat. I'm sorry. I should know because I've been told by police when I said certain stuff like that, or I would say, "Oh, you gonna learn today." I set your house on fire, all that. But that's neither here nor there. Kenya was wrong in what she did, but Brittany had no business saying the stuff that she said, and I understand why Kenya did what she did. I'm not saying she was right, but
Um,
yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
have to agree. Oops, sorry.
I hear what you're saying, and I can't. What she did was wrong. Why she did it, I get that because she was very angry. But what I was saying was, I thought that there was something else that happened to warrant that deep of something to do to her, especially at your own event. That's what I'm saying. Because if
Yeah.
it was just them ratting at each other like that, I can't see Kenya doing that.
and that's what I keep saying.
Oh, sorry,
That's what
Ruby.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I was going to say I agree with what you're saying, and that's what I keep saying as well. Bap I think was next, and then Taya, Queen Catherine, and then Julian. I'm going to get everybody a chance to say what they have to say. Go ahead, Bap.
Okay, so in my opinion, Bravo ultimately was negligent because the second she was bringing up any sort of a weapon, she shouldn't have been on that show in the first place, right? They shouldn't have had her stay there. I don't think at this point, I still don't think that Kenya was vindicated or justified in what she did, but I don't understand them keeping Brit either because her reaction was completely unhinged. If she's doing that much over the little interaction that she had with Kenya, she doesn't seem like the type of person you would want to have on your show. She seems like a liability. So if you're going to let Kenya go because she's a liability for what she did, which she was, then both of them should have been gone. Um And as far as like understanding why Kenya did what she did, it makes even less sense to me now, because it's like if you have this person acting insane like Britt was, why would you then go and further enrage them? Because then at that point she has even more reason to act like an idiot.
I agree. Taya was next, and then I think I said Catherine, Julia, and Eartha. Okay, go ahead, Taya.
And I'm gonna hop back. I'm gonna hop down. That's all I wanted to say.
Matt. Thanks, Boo.
All right.
Good morning. Well, afternoonish, everyone. And you know what? I like when we do these panels because and listening and reading other people's opinions, because just that quick, it can change your thought process or your feelings of the situation. Because initially I was in the comments and I'm like, well, okay, yeah, it's a threat to a degree because she, made the comments that she had whatever weapons. However, I forgot I think it was a young lady right before me who had mentioned when she was saying, don't play with me. Like once she started saying that type of stuff, it added on to the fact that she said she had a gun and, who you think you're playing with, because, once she said that to me, that's what then turned it into intent type of threat versus, oh yeah, I got a lollipop, and I'm saying lollipop because I don't know if I could say the other word, the pow pow.
Pow pow, yeah, that's good.
And then it's like, and then there's the part where like, okay, so for me, I can ask someone, hey, can I borrow a cup of sugar? That's a favor, right? But then if in return, the favor they want from me is to drive the getaway car, like it doesn't add up is what I'm saying. So, and Kenya is too seasoned to have handled this like this. She's been around for too long. We've seen all of her antics. And like when Portia attacked her, I think it was season 6, she called the police, I think, at the reunion, after the reunion. So if that's the case that you feel threatened, why don't you call the police and press charges on her for terroristic threats? And then you could have had her mugshot to display at your event, even though I still don't think she should have did whatever she did at her event. I just feel like she's smarter than that. And she's more seasoned than that. And, two wrongs don't make a right. So obviously Britt was coming for her, and there ain't that much editing in the world unless they was cutting out Kenya coming back. But Kenya, it just seemed like she started off trying to work around, work with the new girls, and Britt just had it like, I'm coming for Kenya the whole time. And even previously with some of the ways that Britt was coming for Kenya, during previous seasons, Kenya would have gave her a run for her money. And I just feel like Kenya was like really chilling. And, she was ignoring her. She was, trying to laugh her off. She tried her very best not to respond to her. So to me, Kenya had the upper hand. She just, as far as addressing the situation, and it's just like, you had the upper hand. It's like being in a car accident. I got full coverage, but let me get out the car and whoop somebody's behind. Now you messing up your full coverage lawsuit or whatever. Like, I'm really disappointed. And I'm not a Kenya fan. I'm not a Britt fan. I don't know these people in real life. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Britt was wrong for, continuously coming for Kenya. Kenya, you know how the show goes. So you could have just gave her a nice little read. But and again, I don't want to comment too much on what Kenya did because we only know snippets of what was said that she did. And I'm curious to see how this plays out next week. So that way I can feel like I can have a really stronger opinion about, Kenya was wrong. We don't know what she did yet. We just heard snippets of what she did. So we're all assuming. But if, like you kept saying, if it's like they said it is, then yeah. She now you done let this new chick come in and cost you your job? That's all I have for now.
I honestly just,
hey, Really, how you doing? Hello.
Hey, yes. Did you want to jump in? You said you wanted to just you wanted to jump in.
Just put it in a little two-way dialogue or whatever. I ain't want to overstep her, but I do want to say we're not gonna act like Kenya's innocent. That's very true. Right. But last night, the way the events played out, immediately when Kenya hit the door, now granted, she did have on an opposing color. She was supposed to have on all black. So she came in as a distraction already. But the Brit was already hating from the moment Kenya walked in. She began picking with Kenya from the door. Kenya ain't no weak person. I ain't trying to give her no out in it. But the accusations that the lady was saying, and nobody put this out there, it was live and recorded with the whole I have the pow pow and the threatening things that she was saying. She just kept putting gas on it. Like literally, the situation was moved on. It was like at least 2 to 3 minutes. Her husband got there, and she's still crunk. She's still mad. She still want a situation and wanted a scene. Now, where there's smoke, there's fire. And a lot of the comments, I don't know how true it is. You can take it with a grain of salt. A lot of the comments said that what wasn't edited was Britt was in her face clapping and talking to her. And you know what I'm saying? Like being very aggressive, but that part wasn't shown or seen. I believe that because just based off her energy, she was too mad to not have
Yeah.
gone. That ain't all she said. I mean, and we know how editing is a beast. So I do believe that Kenya was kind of vindicated in her response. Now her reaction should have been better. Her standing there beside Portia's car, I felt like she was screen recording or recording so that you could hear the threats and keep it for herself. Because Kenya ain't no fool when it comes to drama. So the fact that she was just standing there listening and she wasn't paying attention to Portia none at all, she could hear the girl within ears reach talking about making all of these threats and stuff. I think Kenya was recording that. Now where she dropped the ball was to go to her event and then to just do what she did and display that girl's pictures like that. She completely lost all credibility at that point for the fight. And now, I mean, it puts you in a worse position because you're publicly humiliating her when you could have just went with the defense tactic had you not have took it to this next level.
Can I ask a
Yep.
question? Is vindicated the right word? Because we're saying, okay, they both was wrong, right? But if we say that Kenya's vindicated, uh, we saying, oh, she's just not guilty. She's, cleared of all wrongdoing. So,
Right.
and that's why
Well,
I'm
I
asking, is
wanted
vindicated the
prior
right word?
Well, I worded
I
the
agree
title that
with
we
you.
play because that's what a lot of people were saying in my comments. That's what I saw a lot of people online saying. So
Right.
that's why I put that, and that's a good question. That's why I asked that question because
Can
I
I answer that
understand
question?
why Kenya felt a certain way, but is she vindicated? That's two different questions. I agree.
so in
I'm
my
sorry, I done
opinion,
lost
because the
track of
public
who's the turn it
perception,
is, so y'all can
my
jump
bad.
in.
Oh my bad.
Can
Because
I
the
just
public
say that?
perception will. I was
Go
just going to
ahead.
answer that question as far as my saying vindicated. Just because the public perception that's been out there for the last 5 months has been that Kenya just did this, we heard nothing about any of the threats and anything. They kept that under wraps until the show. So I mean, I do feel like they were painting a picture of an evil villain for her prior to us actually seeing
Hold on,
it.
can I jump in on that one?
So
Go ahead, go ahead. Because I appreciate
not that
everybody's
she's
patience. I know y'all been patient, so go ahead,
excused
jump
for
in.
what she
Hold on.
done,
Okay, so
but
first,
but just
so
ODS, you going in and
okay, I
out.
can understand
You
her
going in the
reasoning
out. ODS,
better.
you breaking up.
hold on. So
ODS.
I
ODS, you
was
going
gonna
in and
say,
out, love, because I thought it was my phone tripping. I had to cut off my Wi-Fi.
Nah, he breaking
yeah,
up.
yeah, I was gonna say first, I have to disagree. That's not true. We did hear about the pow pow threats. I remember when it hit the
We did.
blogs because I remember I was on the train on the way home and everybody went live that night. Every content creator went live that night. They were like, Kenya got threatened. Oh, Kenya did this with the poster board. What's going on down the RHOA? I remember that vividly.
I do too.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
so we
that was
did hear
back in the
about
beginning.
that.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did hear
I
that.
remember
Well,
we did hear about that. But what I was about to say, here's my thing, because this has been a pattern since I want to say about like season 13. All
Hmm.
of these new girls have wanted to come for Kenya. They want they want what I call and what a few other people call the Kenya Moore experience. You want that
Mhm.
villain so badly that when she gives it to you, and she's been mid for about 2-3 years now, that when she gives it to you, you start crying. Drew did it,
Hmm.
Marlo did it,
Hmm.
that Courtney Yzma face girl did it.
Not Yzma. Oh Lord.
They all did, and now this Brit Edie girl. Swear, I could never. I knew I was not gonna like her. I knew it because I was like, okay. Kenya was so excited when she got cast for season 16 because the whole thing was supposed to be rebooted. So she was definitely going to work with these girls. And so far, She ain't even did nothing to that girl. She did nothing.
But that's kind of what's so disappointing about how she behaved, because she knew this was a big
Mhm.
opportunity for
Hold on.
her.
I'm about to hold on. Let
Exactly.
me just let me just get there. Because here's the thing. I'm not advocating or championing for anything that Kenya might have did. Let me just say we don't know what she did yet.
That's fair. We
I'm
haven't
pretty
seen it.
sure that she called her an insurance fraud. Oh,
Oh,
and
yes.
She called her a cheap one at that.
and she said that, Yo Gotti said Snapchat made that ussy, and you did. I'm sure she did all that because that was on
Yes.
video.
Yes.
Um,
She called her a cheap hoe.
but I said
She did.
yes,
She
she
said, not
did.
only you a
She
hoe, you a
did.
cheap hoe.
She hoe. So who is this
Yes.
hoe? Let me stop. All right.
Yes, but I understand that, and I've been a Kenya stan since season 6. I was
I've been a
early on
Kenya
the
fan
Kenya
since she won Miss USA.
Miss USA. Yes, so I came
Aw.
to Kenya. I really really came to love Kenya because I loved how she handled herself when everybody was against her at her first reunion. I thought that was an impressive performance. I've been impressed with her since. And so, with that in mind, to think about how she handled herself every time. I mean, Portia dragged her onto the floor at that reunion, and she fixed her hair, got back up, and sat back down on that couch and kept going. So, for her to be the same person to lose her cool so bad over this girl, too. After we saw last night in the episode, she said, I spent $400,000. I think I gave away Brooklyn's college money to pay for this spa. And then to use that event to be
Mhm.
the place where you take advantage and go in on Brittany in such an amateurish way made me so disappointed, especially after watching what happened last night. We saw that she was in the right to begin with. That was so disappointing for me. And I think somebody in your comments, Really B, said, oh, she thought that Kenya was really emotional about the spa and everything, so she didn't have her bearings. Too bad. Like, you got to have your bearings. You are the one with something to lose. Britt is a newbie. This was supposed to be your show. It's supposed to be the you and Portia show this season. And you let this woman who can't even control herself enough to not threaten to use a weapon on camera, and you let her trick you out your spot. Now,
Hold
if
on, let me
Portia
just say
was
I do agree with that. I do think that for Kenya to do what she did at her own hair salon event, I do think that I was like, Kenya, girl, I cannot believe that you got so into it that you allowed this nobody to trick you out your spot, because you should have been running this show. And all we've been talking about for the last few weeks is how Kenya is moving the scenes along. She's running the girls. I'm like, we
exactly.
got that. So I do agree with that. Now, here's what I will say, because I think that, I mean, through Kenya's like press tour that she did, a little while back, when she was on Tamara Hall, she did say, yeah, I took it too far. So I'm like, yeah, okay, good. You've processed those emotions. You know what happened. You know what your role in that was. You know that you were wrong. Okay, great. Do I think that she's owed an apology?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. However,
I
I
think
would just be
production
like,
failed
Ish, you
her.
do it again. I'm like, Ish, if you do it again, who knows what I'm gonna do next? But that's just me. But
I
See,
think production failed.
I wouldn't have
here's what
did what.
should have happened. Here's what should have, because I remember when all of this hit the fan on the blogs almost a year ago, they were just like, oh, allegedly Brett said, oh, you don't know who I am, come and find out. You gonna learn today,
Jeff
da da
down
da da
down
da.
Golden
And
Corner.
I was just like, oh, okay. So if she said all of that plus the pow pow threat, what Kenya should have done the next time they all got together was say, oh, well, you said that we don't know you. Here's what I found out about you.
Mhm.
Not
But
at her hair salon.
production failed her even
All
before
right.
we get to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Hold on.
Kenya
because
I
scene.
want to
because
jump
she
in real
went to
quick.
production and she went to Bravo. I'm like, that's what I was getting at. She went to them and they didn't do
Right.
anything. So Kenya took it in her own hands. Should she have done
That
that
was
at her hair
stupid, though.
salon? No. But do I think that because here's the thing.
I
We
would have
see
showed
how
up at my
Kenya
own hair
has
salon
pulled
with some sweats
stunts
and my hair
in
pulled
her
back.
early seasons. We've seen how Kenya pulls. This is the same lady who brought a cookie lady to a lunch. to confront another woman.
Right.
So
All
if
right.
anything,
Hold
Kenya
on,
should have
Julia.
done
I want to give
that.
everybody a chance to speak. All right, Julia, I want to give everybody a chance to speak because some people have been very, very patient.
Okay, I'm gonna
Queen
drop out.
Catherine,
Thank
did you
you.
get a chance to speak? No problem. Thank you, babe. Queen Catherine and Eartha, you guys have been up here almost since the beginning. Have you had a chance to speak? And then I know Ash, Butter just dropped off, baby. I'm sorry, you've been patient. You can come back up if you want to. I apologize. But go ahead, Queen Catherine. Did you get a chance to speak already?
Yeah, I spoke after Powerful because Powerful was like Kenya wasn't fully threatening, and I told her, yeah, she was. The moment she said you gonna learn today, that's a threat. I'm sorry, but at the end of the
Okay.
day, if had it been me, I'm just trying to tell you, I was told as soon as she said, "Oh, I got them pistols and this," oh, I'm sorry, the pow pows and everything, I would have told her, "Well, Heifer, I could get pow pow today. What you want to do? Pull it out then, if that's what you all about." I would have said that if I was Kenya. But see, Kenya ain't got that. Even though she says she is scrappy, but she ain't got that mentality like I do. Because I would tell her, pull it out then. Because at the end of the day, you're not gonna threaten my life and think I'm gonna just sit here and just allow you to threaten me and think you're gonna be it's gonna be good. Nah, Heifer, pull it out on me so we could get this thing cracking. It would have been a show on Bravo that day. But as opposed to posting her, even though I feel like it is already on the internet that she has been doing that since she was a video vixen since the age of whatever. But yeah, that's all I want to say about it.
Well, thanks, Boo. Eartha and then Ash.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So with Britt, it's only been what, 4 episodes? That woman has been a psycho since the first episode. You were first mad that
True.
Britt, you was first mad because she asked you about a wedding ring, which is a normal question for anyone, especially if you don't have on a band. So that was your first issue. Then it wasn't about you hugging her. Now, ma'am, you're over here talking about you got pistols and people ain't gonna play with you and stuff like that. That was most definitely a threat. And like the last young lady that just said, Kenya ain't like us. Because I would tore that whole lobby up. We'd have been tearing everything up because you're not going to threaten me. And you don't have nothing in your hand that is visible to me. I'm going to tear that whole lobby up. The other problem I have with her is you cannot be a victim and a villain. I need you to choose one. At least when Kenya is reminded on every reunion or anything she does, Kenya stands on it and says, okay, I did this because this is what you did to me. She stands on what she did. You're not going to sit here and play these games and then blatantly lie and say, oh, I never said that. She was just being mean to me and I don't know why. No. We're not going to play them games because you knew exactly what you were doing. You've been provoking that girl since episode 1 over a hug. There is no way in the world I am going to be that pressed over a hug. Never in the world. I love Kenya. I have always loved Kenya. I don't always agree with what she did. That thing what she did with that chair pouring under that woman was completely wrong. But for majority of the time, Kenya does not come for people unless they come for her. You cannot do something to someone and then tell them how to react. I think she overshadowed her business when she did that. There was a time and place for that. Shouldn't have did it like that. But what I'm saying is it was already online. So by the definition, it was online. It's not revenge porn. If anything, a district DA, anyone can pick up that and bring Kenya up on charges. They don't need Bravo. They don't need anything. They can do that herself. And the point that she wasn't brought up on charges, haven't been arrested, anything, it wasn't revenge porn. You just mad that you got outplayed and she found out some stuff about you, but you've been putting it out here. You was a video vixen and you was all this other stuff. She can go. I'm sorry. She can go.
All right. Well, all right. Who I think Ash was next. And then I will then Nikki came up, so I'll let Nikki speak. So Ash and then Nikki.
Okay,
Go
can you
ahead,
hear
Ash.
me?
Thank you for your patience. I appreciate you.
No problem. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. Hey. Say something else.
Hey,
Right. I
yeah,
was gonna say you sounded kind of fine. How you doing?
yeah,
I know,
yeah.
right? Okay, Ash. All right, come
All right,
on, give
ladies,
it
calm
to
down, calm down.
him.
I'm calling from London, so like the
Oh, all
sound
right.
might be a little bit delayed, and yeah, my deep voice is just my deep voice. It's a curse and a blessing. But I just want to make
I
it
understand.
real quick here. Basically, I don't think that there's any justification that can be made on Kenya's part in regards to sharing what she shared. She's a full-grown adult. She knows the consequences of such actions. And if she did go to Bravo and nothing happened, there's other avenues that she could have taken. I also blame Bravo for not taking any action after hearing the recording and hearing the word, piss being used. They should have taken action. They should have pulled Brittany into the office and, taken her through the full HR route, whether that meant getting rid of her or punishing her in some way. That should have been the consequence. And with Brittany, I don't really like to pick sides when it comes to these shows. I just generally just watch them for the fun of it. But I don't like her, to be honest. She's very adamant in the way that she approaches things, and she just seems to have no storyline at all. Her storyline is Kenya. All of this started over a hug, and even in the last episode, she was complaining about being patted on the back when she got a hug. I personally hate that as well, but we're not friends like that for us to be embracing. So I don't know what your issue is. And then, someone mentioned in the comments about, well, Kenya could have just replied, just read her down. But Kenya did, literally called her a peasant. You can't come for the queen. And what happened is it escalated to threats of gun violence. And, in another country where guns aren't prevalent like mine, that might be something you can ignore. But in America, where guns are readily available, that's something that you take seriously. So that's all I wanted to say. I think that all of them have some blame to share, Bravo, Kenya, and Brittany. But in regards to the Brittany-Kenya beef, it's completely Brittany just constantly coming after Kenya. I'm guessing she just reached the end of her limit. And that's it.
Are you Idris Elba? I just want to ask.
Not are you Idris
No.
Elba?
I think I look better than Idris, though, to be
Oh,
honest.
His voice is deeper than
it
Idris.
sounded a lot like him, and Lord.
He said he looked better than
You say
Idris.
he
I
look
had to
better?
ask. Come on now.
Mm.
Come on.
I'm gonna keep my married
Yeah.
ass quiet. Really be. I'm gonna keep my married ass quiet.
Really, B, can I say
That's
something?
right.
I ain't
But
married. I'm
I
single.
listen.
Call
You
me
got
ass.
everybody in the
Okay.
chat and everything else, honey. They love you. They love you, as you can come back anytime, honey. Come back anytime.
Thank you very much. I love you
Really,
both
B,
for
can I
coming.
say something?
Loving me 424. Okay, add me.
Nikki, what you got, baby?
All right, hey y'all. So I don't know if it's the Pisces in me, but I don't give a damn what Kenya showed about Brit. Okay. At first I thought it was all like, oh my gosh, to do that to another woman. But Brit's performance, it was cringy. I am from Chicago. People get hit with bottles for less. If you say that you have a pow pow, I mean, think about what's that movie? White Man Can't Jump.
Oh.
Buddy said, all right,
And I'm
y'all
in
stay
it.
right here. I'll be right back. The whole park cleared. When Jody told Melvin on Baby Boy, I got heat for like you, what did he do? He cleared his ass through the coffee table. So it's an absolute threat. And like Really B said, we gonna say it and take it back like Dr. Heavenly. We gonna hit you in the throat. You ain't gonna even remember what you said. Don't
You
ever
ain't gonna
tell me
make
that
it.
you got right, like to do that. So it's not apples to oranges, but when you're in battle with someone, the only issue I have is that Kenya unfortunately lost her job because of it. But if you threaten someone with a pow pow, there is no reason that Brit should be on this show right now and not Kenya, because threatening someone's
true.
reputation versus threatening someone's life, that is not equivalent. So Kenya, I hope that it was the nastiest Sukiana type of picture that you put up to
Not
make it worth
Sukiana.
it.
Oh
Not
my
To make
God.
it worth it, because she got it coming and she wants everybody to know that she was a video girl. We know what video girls do, so
We
embrace
do.
it.
Oh my.
Embrace it. We have all of us we are grown. I'm not gonna say what everybody does, but we are all grown and know what grown folks do. Not everybody has threatened someone or been threatened with a pistol before. So to hell with Brit. Get this hoe off my TV.
I
I
got you.
would have look here,
Okay,
like
All right.
Really B,
All
can I
right.
say something?
Who's that?
Can I say something powerful?
Who? Go ahead, boo. And then I'm gonna let
Okay,
Tam go,
listen.
and then T Lounge is gonna be
Th-
last.
this is what I want to know. Um, well, for me, growing up in my time, I didn't people. You can threaten. I had people to take care of that. That's just where I grew up. That's just how I grew up. But my question is, what was in that lawsuit that Britt had brought towards Bravo that she got to stay and Kenya had to leave and they settled because they didn't want to have a lawsuit going on and nothing bad to go to Bravo. That's what I want to know. What was in that lawsuit that Kenya was the one to lose out completely and Britt still stayed on the show because both of them should have been gone.
So
Is there
I
a scenario
That's
where
some
Bravo
I
could have
think that's
still been annoyed with Kenya when that season that she didn't share her wedding and all of that?
well
I feel
no.
like
I
also
that
don't think
was.
remember she did that interview with Carlos King and she was really dogging Bravo out. So
But that was after this situation happened. That was after this. I'm gonna say this. That's a good question. That's a really good question, and I do not have all of the answers. But
right.
let me just say, production dropped the ball when they didn't
Yes,
respond
they
to
did.
what Brit needed. Right. So I agree with you 100%. However, comma, we can put that aside. What I told you guys that was given to me, and again, I have to say allegedly, but it was told to
Right.
me that Kenya got, first of all, Kenya lied about where she got those pictures from, allegedly. When
That was
production,
damaging to her.
right. So what happened was, if it's true that Kenya got those pictures from a private source, ex-boyfriend, some a baby mama that found the pictures. If Kenya got those pictures from a source and did not get them from a public website, then it is revenge porn. Because Brit didn't put those pictures out. You published those pictures for the sole purpose of embarrassment, yada, yada, yada. So, understanding what we saw last night, but and I'm putting an if there, if Kenya, and if, let's just assume this, what if Kenya got those pictures anonymously and she can't even tell you where she got them? They just showed up in her inbox. You see what I'm saying? Brit does have a case. Production dropping the ball on her making a comment about the pistol situation, that's on them. But if Kenya really did get those pictures from a private source and then publish them publicly, that is revenge porn. And it may not rise to the level of a criminal case, but certainly a civil case. And if it's a civil case, Bravo and NBC Universal and whatever the local production company is, they are all going to be named in that lawsuit.
And that is
You understand?
probably why they settled.
That's it. And again, that's my. And so you answered your own question.
Yeah,
But
and
production,
Kenya becomes a great
production
big
dropped the ball on what
liability
we saw
to
last night.
yeah. The first of all, the cameramen should have been once they seen something going on, they could have made a phone call. Listen, this is what's going on. Da 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 da.
All right, Dennis, you said that Sydney Dennis said it's not from a private source. How do you know that? Tell me. Because
I won't
Kenya
know.
said it. I mean, I'm not coming at you. I just want to know if you have information. This is we just sharing information. T Lounge, I'm gonna let you say your piece, boo. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey,
T
what's
Lounge
going
been
on,
around
Willie?
since the beginning, honey.
And I
What
love
up,
to see.
Mims?
I love to see where you're going. I really get excited seeing this for you. So now listen, y'all kind of said some of the things that I was getting ready to come up here and say. Powerful asked a question that I had, you answered it. I will say this: we all know that she didn't go about it the right way. Revenge, P word is not it. That's not the way to go. You played your hand kind of messed up because the thing about it is people who, first off, it was a threat. People who feel threatened are not going to do something so vile to someone that has threatened them. You know what I'm saying?
I would.
I mean, people. I shouldn't say people wouldn't, but if you feel truly threatened to go and do something that might cause them to be triggered, is wild. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's threatening your life. Now, my thing is this: why wasn't there, like, why she didn't go the law route? Because you could have still got all that pomp and circumstance that you was looking for by filing the restraining order
Exactly.
and everything on camera. Like, no, I'm going to the police and and everything, and then they got to follow you to the police station, and now you got a storyline. So I don't understand why she went the route that she went and put herself and her job in jeopardy. The other thing is,
That's the $1 million question, literally, because it cost her millions of dollars. So that is the $1 million question. Now, Sydney Dennis says, yes, they do. Well, can you tell me? Because I would love to know how you know. And I'm not even saying that with no attitude or nothing, baby. I want the tea. Spill it. Spill the tea. Somebody, they're saying in the chat that allegedly it came from her OnlyFans. OnlyFans is not a public platform. It's behind the paywall.
In the chat, they were saying that she was a cam model before OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
So she was on
Bravo is not showing everything. Well, we know that Bravo never. Well, they're gonna always edit it, and they certainly gonna protect themselves. So again, if you got more tea, spill it, boo.
But the other thing is, I feel that there's a lot of pretty privilege going on right here, because if Britt was anybody else making those type of threats, I think that Bravo would have handled it a little bit different. I guess they feel, I don't know if they think that she isn't capable of it or whatever, but you can't be too sure. People are crazy.
Okay, Sydney Dennis said not OnlyFans. Okay, well, again, if you got the tea, spill it. But we get ready to get out of here, you guys. I'm going to come back in about an hour to do Married to Medicine reunion. And then do not forget that tonight, whether you like it or not, panel, it is right here at 8:30-ish. It'll be on the Really Be TV Reviews channel. So if you are not subscribed to the Really Be TV Reviews channel, go ahead and get subscribed now so you don't miss it. Because trust and believe, the conversation is going to be hot when the panel gets to debating this. Okay, so we will come down.
Can I say something real quick? Can I say something real quick, Really Be?
And Powerful, I'm gonna hit you up on Instagram because I got to tell you something.
Okay, Cajun, I don't know if you in here, but don't be starting no mess with them about them being late. Let them be late and let them be great. They can be late and great if they want to. Don't start no mess when you come up in this daggone review. Okay, that's all I want to say.
Okay, wait a minute, hold on. Sydney dropped some tea. We're gonna say it. We're gonna put it up here. Sydney said Kenya got all of her salary and chose to move away for safety. Bravo first said they did not have any info on a pow liar. They called Kenya a liar. Well, I find it interesting that they left it in, because they could have edited that out, but they left it in. So I do find that interesting. Interesting. All right, you guys, we got to get out of here. I've been here for an hour. Thank you, everybody that came up, and I hope everybody got a chance to express themselves and say what they needed to say. I will see you guys, like I said, in about an hour to talk about Married to Medicine. Love y'all. Peace.
All right, have a good one. Peace, y'all.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Not is that R. Kelly. I'm not doing this with